Hey everybody, this is Jacob doing a review on Split Fiction. Now this is going to be my first review video, but I have done some recommendation videos on certain video games that I really like, and I just talk about what kind of game it is and why I really like it. The review is going to be more on new games that I haven't played yet, and I'm going to try to cover more about things that I don't like about the game than just good things. Split Fiction is made by Hazelight Studios, which they have made some great games such as A Way Out and It Takes Two, and I want to make a quick shout out to Joseph Fares. He is the founder of Hazelight Studios and director. He seems very passionate about the games he makes, and he seems a little crazy, but in a good way.
I'm telling you this, okay? There are like passionate people, there are crazy people, and there is me.
And just like those games, Split Fiction is only a 2-player game. And if you have not played those games and you end up liking Split Fiction, then I recommend checking those games out. Those are both great games and they are awfully alike, especially It Takes Two. And with Split Fiction only being a 2-player game, you'll be happy to know that you do have couch co-op or you could play online. And unlike the other games, Split Fiction has crossplay, which the game is available on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and is not available on Nintendo Switch, at least not yet. And the game also has Friend Pass, so only one person needs access to the game to be able to play. And the game is also only 50 instead of 70, but you will both need a PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live account to play online, depending on the platform that you guys are playing on. And you'll also need an EA account. The game starts off with you choosing the characters that you would want to play, and before you choose, it tells you a little bit about their personalities, which helps you choose what character that you would like to play, which is nice. But I do have to say that I didn't really like Mio or Zoe all that much. Now, I didn't necessarily dislike them, but I thought they were a little bit plain and generic. Maybe that's just my opinion, but I was also playing the game with my wife and she thought the same thing. But they are both book writers trying to get the book published by going to this company that uses a machine to get the information out of the brains and kind of puts them in a virtual VR sleep. But there is some foul play going on behind the scenes. So the main objective is to stop them from doing what they are trying to do and to get out of the machine. So in order to do that, you'll be going from Zoe and Mio's book, which Zoe's book is fantasy, with Zoe's book requiring a little bit more puzzle solving and platforming, which makes sense because it is fantasy. And Mio's book is a futuristic sci-fi world, which is a little bit more focused on the action. But both have puzzles and platforming, and both books can be challenging. And almost every chapter has a unique boss fight, which I really enjoy the boss fights. I thought they were really creative and not too hard, but at the same time giving it enough challenge to make it fun. But I don't know why they have this awful sound go off when you die, but it is quite irritating, at least for me, really causing me not to want to die, and I was trying to figure out a way to turn it off, but there isn't one, at least for the PlayStation. You also have a lot of situations making it where you have to run away, and if you're not fast enough or you make a mistake, then you die. But a lot of times, not always, it doesn't really matter if you die or not, as long as one of you guys survive when the other one is dead. And you also have quite a bit of checkpoints. But with all that, I felt like it made it extremely easy, and there was even a few sections where I didn't really have to do anything. Like, for example, I even set my controller down just to see if my wife could beat it without me, and she did. Now, not all of those situations are like that. There's some that's really engaging and causing you to have to think quickly and sometimes even solve puzzles as you're about to die. And when you get separated, you have to try to survive on your own. That can get a little bit challenging. But there is another thing that I didn't like, at least when it came to the difficulty. Sometimes in certain sections, I tried to make a jump, but ended up completely missing and dying. And instead of starting me back to where I started, or maybe even in the middle, it spawned me on the platform that I was trying to get to. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but I don't like being rewarded, I guess, for something that I didn't accomplish. If that kind of stuff does not bother you, then good. And I actually think my wife probably liked it, but I didn't. And I feel like Zoe, which was my wife, had the more difficult task a lot of times throughout the game. But I would say my biggest problem with the game, it felt a little empty at times. And I'm not saying that it doesn't look good. Those times when I was playing the game and I was thinking, man, this looks really good. But I was always kind of thinking this is missing something. And what that something was the lack of wildlife. And I felt like that especially in Zoe's book. Although I kind of felt like that a little bit in Mio's book. But I don't feel like it's as needed, since Mio's book is a futuristic sci-fi world. But since Zoe's book is fantasy, I feel like that needs more life. And if the game had more life, and maybe even a little bit more things to interact with, I would have said the world building would be a 10 out of 10. But let's go ahead and talk about one of my favorite things about this game, the side stories, which are either short stories or stories that Mio or Zoe are still working on, which either way, the short stories are not connected to the main story. And for those who played It Takes Two, the side stories are taking the place of the minigames, which they all kind of a lot alike, but they are a little bit different. The minigames in It Takes Two are always something where you verse each other, like for example, chess, whack-a-mole, or racing. The side side stories has some of that stuff, but it's almost more like a whole different level than just a mini game. But at the same time, it's not just another level. I would say it's probably when the game gets the most creative, which is saying a lot because throughout the whole game, it's really creative, but especially in the side stories. And when the side stories were just meant to be kind of silly and fun, I pretty much always had a smile on my face and even laughed a few times. And I would say with a lot of the side stories is when the game becomes the most alive with like life. And really my only complaint is I wish they had more. But I'm not really taking any points away. I mean, the game is only $50, which is kind of crazy to say only 50, but yeah. You also will find quite a bit of Easter eggs throughout the game, which are always fun to interact with. And the game took us about 12 to 15 hours to beat, but we completed all side stories and took our time, with me and my wife killing each other almost every time we got a chance. And you could probably easily beat the game within 10 if you wanted to, if not even a little bit faster. But I'm gonna go ahead and give this game a 9 out of 10, but it does lose 2 points for some of the stuff that I mentioned. But since the game's only 50 at time of release, and you have Friend Pass and crossplay, it makes up a point. But I would definitely recommend this game, especially if you liked It Takes Two. Then I really don't see you not liking the game. But that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I hope you guys like it, and I'm hoping to do more in the future. So if you do want to see more, maybe like and subscribe. This is Jacob saying goodbye.